What if humans could teleport? Goodbye airports, hello New York. Well, maybe not that new. You see, teleportation is possible, but it's limited to subatomic particles. Scientists have sent photons, atoms, and even molecules scoot over vast distances almost instantly. And in 2019, they successfully beamed an entire 1-gram object 40 meters through space using a 22 kilowatt laser. That's about as heavy as a ping pong ball and around the size of a bread box. But those are baby steps. We're a long way from beaming people or large objects like buildings or mountains. But what if we could do that? Let's start with the obvious. Say goodbye to airports. Who needs security checks and customs and jet lag when you can just blink from London to Lima? To make that possible, scientists would need to develop a way to scan and then perfectly reassemble trillions of atoms that make up a human body. And then there's the pesky problem of getting those atoms from here to there. The best guess is that it would take a big particle accelerator the size of a small mountain to get enough energy to teleport. Something as massive as a human. Then again, that's just for the short haul. For long-distance teleportation, say from the US to the UK, we'd probably need a much bigger machine. In theory, once you've got the tech to move people, you could use it for work or leisure, or maybe even both at the same time. Imagine attending a morning meeting in Tokyo while lounging in your PJs in London. In fact, why bother working at all? With teleportation, you could live anywhere and commute to a job in another country. You could attend school in one city and play sports for a team in another. Or hell, you could just live closer to your favorite casino. But it's not all fun and games. Crime would be a whole lot easier. No more extradition. Kidnappers could drop their victims off at a remote location and be back home before the sun sets. Banks would need armed guards at their teleportation pads. And forget about border security. Smugglers could beam people into a country without a peep. Even walking your dog would be a little more complicated. If Fido took a liking to that cute puppy across the street, he might just disappear with her. And that's just the criminal element. A terrorist could teleport a bomb to a crowded location and do a lot of damage before anyone knew what hit them. Plus, how would teleportation affect the economy? If anyone could set up a teleportation pad in their home, would that drive down property prices in undesirable areas? Would beaming your lunch to your office make restaurant workers obsolete? And what would happen to airlines and hotels and all the other businesses that rely on people traveling from place to place? Economists have speculated that teleportation would cause some serious financial disruption. A sudden influx of cheap foreign labor could devastate local economies, depress wages, and lead to widespread unemployment. Then there's the chance that teleportation could save the planet. After all, if we could beam goods instantly from factory to consumer, we wouldn't need to build expensive transportation infrastructure, and we could tear down all those freeways and airports that scar our cities. It might even encourage diplomacy. If world leaders could visit each other's home countries in an instant, maybe they'd be less eager to wage war. Or maybe it wouldn't matter because war would just become more efficient. At this point, you might be wondering if teleportation is ever going to be possible. The risks are just too great. Unfortunately, that doomsday scenario isn't as far-fetched as it sounds. In 2018, two physicists proposed a solution to the problem of teleporting large objects by converting them to information and sending that information through a wormhole. Then they'd reconstruct the object at the other end. However, to do this, they'd need to know everything about the object, down to the exact position of every atom. And when it came to information transfer, that meant they'd have to take pictures of pictures of pictures. Not only would this method require a truly astronomical amount of data, it would also leave a lot of room for error. Just a tiny mistake during reconstruction could result in, well, death. So until we figure out how to send pictures of pictures of pictures of pictures of pictures, it seems like teleportation is just science fiction. Thankfully, there is one surefire way to teleport instantly. Buy a ticket on a flight operated by the world's fastest airline. Thanks for watching Parallelish. I'm Nova, your guide through the unknown. Want to explore more timelines? Tap the playlist above and keep diving into the what-ifs. Until next time, stay curious.